aviation industry is integral to the U.S. and global economy and is challenged by a workforce shortage, but Virginia is ready to prepare the next generation of pilots. Are you?
I grew up in a small town in Windsor, Virginia, got my high school degree from Windsor High School. I didn't know what I really wanted to be when I grew up, so I went to Tidewater Community College, got my associate's degree. Ultimately, that led me to the bachelor's program in engineering at Old Dominion. And I wasn't done learning yet, so I went and got my master's in engineering. And that's kind of my background as far as formal education. After that, I was an engineer for several years in shipbuilding and manufacturing. And then I think it was about 2020, I decided to take the leap and enrolled in the Southwest Destination 225 program to become a pilot.
But it is pretty neat. I guess I hadn't really thought about the fact that I was one of the first to do Pathways, and now I'm going to be, an instructor also. So that is pretty cool. But for sure, Pathways is what, kind of set me up and gave me the, initial push to get going.
My grandfather was a fighter pilot in World War II, and so he actually flew before the war, so he always had an airplane. So I grew up around aviation my whole life. If you think you want to have a career in aviation, there's all kinds of opportunities, not just flying for the airline. There's many different avenues, right? Specifically, the return on investment. Right now, if you do your research, your return on investment is higher than that of a lawyer or a doctor to be an airline pilot. So yes, the upfront cost is definitely expensive, but on the back end, that return will be there, right? But right now, it's a great time, and it looks like it will be for the next 20 years. So. Yeah. Unique thing about Virginia is it's location, right? We're in an area where we've got mountains where you can get that type of training. You get all 4 seasons here in Virginia as well, right? As where if you're doing flight training in places like Florida or Arizona, you're not going to get that same unique challenge in your training. So. But we don't get those hard winters that you do, up in the north. So to me, Virginia is just a great location, right? We've got some great Class Charlie airports throughout Virginia. We've got Bravos, whether it be Dulles, and then even down into the Carolinas, right? So it's just, to me, you couldn't find a better state or commonwealth to do training in. Yes, ma'am.
There were definitely resources that helped me become a pilot along the way. I sought mentors from people in the community. I asked my flight instructors. I joined as many of the aviation clubs that I could find, the 99s, Women in Aviation, the Aerobatics Club, IAC. I ultimately got a very large scholarship from the 99s, and that helped me pursue the flight training for the Destination 225 program. Virginia does have a lot of resources for those getting started in aviation. The 99s are an incredible community, especially for young women. Women in Aviation, also promoting women getting started out in this field. EAA, IAC, the International Aerobatics chapters, those are really fun, lots of cool people to meet, network with. Some of my best mentors are from IAC and the 99s, and I wouldn't be where I am today without those people helping me out, holding my hand, giving me guidance on what to do next, and helping me when times were hard, if you busted a check ride and stuff. And there's definitely lots of resources here in Virginia to promote people in aviation.
So there is, Averett's fortunate. We have a lot of cadet programs with different airlines considering it, but they offer tuition reimbursement and to kind of help you along the way and help with training. And there's other great things like the Civil Air Patrol. They take young high schoolers, and I think even younger than that, I'm sure, out flying. That's a great resource for somebody that's looking to get into it. The best thing I can say is first, just get in the airplane. If you can get out and get behind the yoke and kind of experience that, I'd say it'd be hard not to fall in love with it.
I would immediately tell them, go get a discovery flight. My first flight, I took a discovery flight out at Epix in Chesapeake, Virginia. And I still remember how bad my face hurt because I was smiling so hard from flying, and I just knew that this was what I wanted to do as a career, not just, you know, for pleasure, but I wanted to do this for the rest of my life. So seek out mentors, try to find people who are involved in aviation, get a wide view of all the different careers that are out there and available, and find out what you want to do, what really sparks your interest, and don't be afraid if you fall down, if you mess up, if you bust a check ride, keep going. Always remember why you're doing it and just keep going. Don't give up. It's possible and achievable, and you can do it.
I think there's such a shortage of pilots now. Yes, it's a scary amount of money that you're spending at first, but there's the ceiling is just so high in the aviation career that, like, it's just, you got to take a gamble on yourself more or less, because, you know, you have the opportunity to make that money back.